Good afternoon. This is Dave with Windy Ridge Trapper, here to give you a couple tips on fishing a spinnerbait today. But before we get into that, if you have not subscribed to the channel, I encourage you to do so. Again, Austin's trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by 20th of this month, and then he's going to give away a $250 card, $250 Cabela gift cards. Again, though, if you like it, tell your friends and subscribe. Doesn't cost anything to subscribe. And if you like the content, give us a thumbs up. Appreciate you taking your time out to join us today. And I'm going to talk about spinnerbait fishing for a little bit today. And there's several different styles of blades. But the two I'm going to talk about today is mainly the Colorado blade and the willow leaf blade today. These are the two most common, or like I say, there's several others, and how I fish them and when I fish them. And first, I'll talk about the Colorado blade, and also I have them where it's got two blades or just a single. This here's a copper. I've got them in silver also, and I fish them double Colorado, just like this one here is a double willow leaf, but I have some double Colorados. But when the water clarity is a foot or less, or even 6 inches or less, I like to fish a Colorado. It displaces more water, and it comes to the top quicker, and you can, it yo-yos. If you want to bring it over cover and let it fall, it yo-yos and helicopters easier than a willow leaf. But in muddier water and stained water, it displaces the water, and when the bass can't see as good, they pick up on the vibration and the vibration it puts off, and they can zero in on the bait. Like I say, completely muddy water, definitely I go with black most of the time, and this here, like I say, is a copper, but that's what I normally throw in really stained water, and it's good at attracting the bass just by the vibration. It puts out a different, more vibration, displaces more water than what the willow leaf does. And I about always use a trailer. I very seldom ever throw a spinnerbait, no matter if it's completely muddy water, clear water, without a trailer. This here's white, but I have it in black also. This here's a split tail made by Z-Man, but Zoom makes them, Bass Pro makes them, just about every brand makes them. This is the one I like to use. Sometimes I use, this here's a Razor Shad by Z-Man in a black and blue. And then also Zoom this year come out with the Shimmer Shad, and I also have it in black and blue and black. But all these work really well as trailers, and even where this here is a split tail grub, you can also use just a regular 3-inch curly tail grub. You can tear a worm, break a worm off, and use the curly tail part of the worm and put it on there. But I like it for the extra attractant, and I think that when the fish goes to suck it in, that it helps the fish to suck it in too. But like I say, on the Colorado, you can fish a Colorado anytime. But I feel it works better in stained water where the water's not so clear. And also, the lakes we fish, they get hammered. They get a ton of pressure, and fish get accustomed to the vibrations and to the different baits. I truthfully think they can probably name the baits better than we can. But anyhow, this here displaces a lot of water, makes a lot of vibration. And if it's muddy or stained, the fish can zero in on it, and it's a real good bait. And like I say, it rises to the top quicker, and you can fish it slower, or you can fish it fast. But and also this is good just to really buzz right under the water to where it makes where the water just kind of makes a V and whoos up. Sometimes that's how they want it, but in stained water they don't normally see that as good. But that's when I zero in on the Colorado. And like I say, you can use it in clear water. I'm not saying you can't, but it seemed like it's more effective in stained water. And once the water gets above, let's say 18 inches to 2 foot, then I go to a willow leaf. And this here's the best of both worlds. It has a Colorado blade on the front and a willow leaf on the rear, and it's real effective and doesn't put out quite the vibration or the movement, the displacement of water, and you can work it deeper than normally you can a Colorado. Of course, you can just bump the Colorado right off the bottom too. I'm not saying the fish won't bite it, but again, when the water's clear, I like say up to 2 foot, I go to this with a Colorado blade, and again, whatever color you like. I showed you black there when the water was stained. A clear water, I like white, or a white and chartreuse is always good. And this here is chartreuse white and has some barbed wire strands in it too. Again, I fish it with a trailer, and on this one here, I'd pair it up with this Z-Man split tail grub. I don't run the shad type too much on the spinnerbaits. I run them a lot more on the chatterbaits, but I do use them on the spinnerbaits. And another one is a fluke. You can put a fluke on the back of it as the trailer too. They work great too. You might have to cut a little bit of the head off to pair it up, but they work great for a trailer also. Again, I try not to, but sometimes you have to run a trailer hook, a stinger hook. If you're missing a lot of fish and are getting a lot of strikes and are short striking, then you can add a trailer hook to it, and that will probably help you pick up a few. Again, you can put a piece of surgical tubing over it and put it on there, or you can put a small O-ring, and some people even takes the bobber stops and put it on there to keep the hook on. I like it to swing though. I know that they make with the surgical tubing already on it. But I like mine. I like it to swing, because sometimes it gets stuck down and it gets stuck off to the side. But if you put surgical tubing and get it loosened up, then it works fine. So now when the water gets super clear and 3-4 foot, then I go to a double willow leaf. And again, I showed you here. This here's a single Colorado. You could also just use a single willow leaf if you want to. But you can work it a lot deeper, and you can work it and you can work it slower down through there. But you want to make sure you're working it fast enough to keep the blades turning. And again, I always pair it up with a trailer of some sort. I just showed you a few here. Here's a Z-Crawl Junior. You can also use those on the spinnerbait. I don't use them very often on a spinnerbait, but you can. And like I say, the new one by Zoom is a shimmer shad, and this here is a razor shad by Z-Man. And again, you can use the 3-inch curly tail grub, whatever you have, whatever you feel comfortable with. But you know, this has worked for me, and by far, I'm sure, you know, I'm just here to try to help people catch more fish. That's what it's about. When we go out, it's a blessing to be able to go out, but when we go out, we want to utilize our time the best we can, and we're out there to catch fish. So hopefully, a few of these, if you try these, and it'll help you out, especially if, like I said, if this water is stained at below a foot visibility, 6 to 0, I would definitely use the Colorado. It displaces more water and moves more water, puts out more vibration. As it clears up, this here is, like I said, the best of both worlds. It is a willow leaf and a Colorado when the water's 2 foot and below. And if it gets clearer than that, then I definitely would recommend going to both two willow leaves. And again, as our lakes get more pressure and the fish see these baits every day, you may want to even downsize. You know, they make them clear down to an 1/8 ounce, and you know, you think, well, that's small. Well, you can still catch big fish on an 1/8 ounce bait, and something they don't see that often maybe, and it match the hatch. Whatever if you're fishing in a lake that has a lot of bluegill, then use a bluegill color spinner bait and the appropriate size blades. And again, a bait that I like to use whenever the water is really stained, and we was fishing yesterday and the water was stained in one part of the lake, and And instead of going to the Colorado, I went to like a number 6 willow leaf, and man, in the stained water, they was really biting it good and hitting it good. When the water got a little clearer, I had to switch. I couldn't get a bite on it, and I switched to a willow leaf and a Colorado and started catching them again. But again, you know, if you go to a bigger size, you can still just smoke it right under the water where it makes a V, and that's a real good attractant too. But again, the Colorado works real well in the stained water, and the clearer the water, the willow leaf I believe will get you more bites. So I hope this helps you. Again, as I said, if you like the content, give us a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe and tell your friends. And again, if you need any fishing supplies or trapping season's coming up, if you go to windyridgetrapper.com, Austin has a full supply of trapping supplies and some fishing supplies there. Again, God bless you. Go fishing every time you can. Take your kids and grandkids. And until next time, I hope you have a blessed day. Thanks for watching.